What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Jody Home Tutorial. So in this tutorial series, we are going to talk about how we are going to edit our video in Adobe Premiere to make an VHS effects, and it's also a special request from mwproductions. And for those who don't know what is VHS effect, so it's basically an effects that you could apply on your video to make your video looks a little bit like old or vintage, you know, like the old times. And sometimes it's really good in telling story, especially if you want to make it like a throwback memories or some party, like something to remember. It's a really good one. So without any further, let's get started. Open up Adobe Premiere and let's go. Alright, so right now we are in Adobe Premiere Pro. It doesn't matter what version you are using. I'm using CC 2017, and the first step that you are going to do is to create a new project and save it to the folder. Like I make it in VHS tutorial right now, and I'll just name it file VHS. It's important to keep it tidy. Like, okay, so this is the menu of the project, and as what I mentioned, it's important to keep it tidy, so I like to make a folder. Like here's the black bar, and what I like to do next is to make like music as well as sequence, so it's also videos. And these are the 4 folder that I mainly did every time I make a new project. So, and this time we can make it like we can import our video first. Like this is my project folder, this is the video, and as you see, this is the video time, and because I shot it in 120 frame, I'll just make it to 24 frame per second as a native film, and I just drag it to make a sequence. And here you make a new sequence, and to make so you don't confuse, I drag it to another folder, so it's like a lot easier. And let's just remove the music, and I'll just take the part where I wanna take, and I'll just cut it real quick, maybe like until here, then I'll just cut it. Okay, so this is the video. And how do you want to make the VHS look? So the first of all, I'll just make it an adjustment layer, and I'll just put it in the black bar, because later on we will make a black video, and it's kind of the same with the adjustment. Like it's kind of like stuff to put some effects. So right click on here, and you just press adjustment layer and click on OK, and you just drag it on top of your clip. Right, and what you want to do is to go on the effects tab and search for wave warp, and drag it to your adjustment layer. And here you see it's kind of weird, but don't worry, just follow the setting. So the wave type, I'll change it to square, and the direction we'll change it to 0, and the pinning I'll just make it to all edges, so it's fit all the edges. And the wave speed, I'll just make it 0.1, and for the direction I'll just make it 0, and the wave width I'll make it drag up until it's kind of above 500 ish, so it's depend on your clip, but I'll just make it like 581. But the most important thing is to make it above 500. And then now you have like something like glitchy looks, like if you see it, like there's glitch on the clip. And what I'm gonna do next is to put a noise effect. Okay, let's see, there you go, put it on the adjustment layer. And it's actually depends on your clip, like how much noise you want, so it's like depending, but maybe for this I'll just make it like 25%. Let's kind of make it like cinematic. And yeah, that's for the first effect. And what you are going to do next to make it like more vintage, you kind of want to find the color balance RGB. So before that, I'll just drag the adjustment layer to the 4th tab, and you need to copy this clip onto the above 2 times. So you just hold Alt and then just drag it 2 times. There you go. And then you apply the color balance here, like onto the 3 clips. And what you want to do is to change, like, because it's a RGB, so the first one on the 3rd tab it's going to be 100 red and the rest is 0. And this middle one, it's on the green, it's 100 and the rest is 0. And for the blue ones, the same, like 0, 0, and the blue one's 100. And now you look, it's a little bit red, but don't worry, change the opacity, the blend mode to screen for the red and the green. And there you go. Now you have kind of vintage looks, but it's not yet finished. Go on the top clip, the red one, and you change the scale to like 102. So you can see it's a little bit like reddish here, so it's really like make it like an old film look. And yeah, and what I'm like to do next is to make the black video, and this is how we make it. Like the size, like, you know, now the size is like 1920 1080p, like HD, but the old times they don't really have that resolution. So now let's create a black video here, and then drag it on top of your adjustment layer, and you can follow the setting. Like, I just used the calculator just now, and what I put is put this one to 2720 and create another black video. Oops, not yet, not this one. Black video, and drag it on the top of the clip and move this one to -800. And yeah, that's it for the clip. And sometimes to make it more like cinematic, I like to put, okay, let me drag it here, and I'll just put it effect like Super 8 grain. I'll put the link for the download on the below later on. So I'll just drag it here and remove the sound. Let me just resize it a little bit. Okay, and then I'll just change the blend mode to darken, so it's has a little bit like blackish thing going on. And it's actually optional to put this, but it's just to add more on cinematic look, and it's like grainy, it's add more grainy stuff, so it feels like a Super 8 film look, and also VHS. And the other thing you could put is some glitches from this video. I'll put the link as well in the description down below. Okay, so let me just put it, wait, let me put it here, and then I'll just drag it down, and I'll just put the tab here. Okay, so it's the same, just resize it and put down the opacity a little bit lower, maybe something like 50%. And here you can see the play, it's actually really good. Or you can just copy it to like here, the glitches, and let me just cut it and just drag it here and cut it this one. And so let's press enter. Oh wait, this should be under the black video, so I'll just drag it to black videos on the top of it, and boom. Let's render it out so it's a little bit smoother. So it's actually really optional. Like in my previous video, I don't really put the glitches too much because like it's, I don't know, I don't really like it, but in some occasion I'll put it. So it actually could, like, you could actually choose whether you want to put the glitches or you want to put the Super 8 grain film. And here you go. So this is the edit and the final result of the video you are going to get. So that's it for today's tutorial series. Hope you guys enjoy it, hope you guys like it. Smash that button if you really like, and don't forget to tell your friends. Maybe it can help others that also have some interest in video making. And also, don't forget, if you have any questions or you have something specific for me to cover, don't forget, just comment on the below. Don't be shy. Just comment it, I'll scroll it down and I'll see what I can help in the next series.